Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, Vanity Pride. I know it's been forever. I'm very delayed with getting back into the groove of Tower of God, but I am here. Thank you, Cool Foo, for reaching out to me. I know I shortened your YouTube name, but but thank you so much, and I appreciate you calling me one of your favorite ToG YouTubers. It means a lot, honest to God. I think you're the main motivation. You were like the main push for me to come back to this. I mean, I was planning on doing these videos, but I'm like, oh, I gotta get to it right now, super fast. Because, I mean, I could keep delaying this. I've been falling behind on my one-shots that I've been needing to write. So, and then I've been reading the Hunchback of Notre Dame novel because I've become obsessed with Hunchback again, and mostly obsessed with Frollo, of course, because he's great. I mean, I'm even planning to do a Femme Frollo cosplay, but that is beside the point. But, I mean, I guess I can catch you up on what I've been up to. But yeah, basically slacking on the one-shots, reading Hunchback, getting obsessed with Frollo and Hunchback. I got this new jacket a few days ago, so, kind of showing that off in this video. And not much else. We're almost in April, of course, and I will be on vacation in April. It'll be more toward the end of the month, so there will be a time period where I will not be posting videos. But you can count on the videos being continuous from today and over the next few weeks. But yeah, so hope you guys all had a good time. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm kind of out of it today. I have a few funny comments that I included in my notes. But anyway, while SIU was on hiatus, I hope you guys, I hope everything's been good with you guys, whether you work, whether you're in school, whatever you're doing, any hobbies that you've been, getting more into since there was no Tower of God to read. I hope you guys are doing good. That's the main point that I'm trying to get across, and I just couldn't put it into words. I'm just making things complicated for myself. But yeah, so I hope you all have been good. I hope you haven't missed me too much. I know I've missed you guys, and I've missed doing this, so it feels good to get back into the groove. So that being said, let's just jump right into Tower of God before I further delay it and, just keep talking nonsense and not figure out what I'm trying to say. All right, so we'll look at season 3, episode 1, chapter 52, wow, that doesn't make sense. 52 floor, dang, wow, okay. I'm goofing up this title really bad. It's because I got distracted because I realized I wanted to announce something as I'm reading the title. So I will get to the title in a second. What I wanted to say was I'm following Tower of God on Webtoon, or Line Webtoon. And so I'm going to be reviewing with those chapters. I know it's being released, I think, somewhere else, and it's you can pay extra to read the chapter ahead of time or whatever. And then I also heard that Line Webtoon has fallen behind a week. I even think it's probably fallen behind by 2 weeks. So, just bear with me. I know I'm going to be super delayed. I'm not going to be fully on top of, when the chapter releases, reviewing it right away. So, just be wary of that. But anyway, back to the title reading. So season 3, episode 1, 52nd floor, dang, double O. So, a prologue, I guess you could say, to this arc. So last chapter, right, we left off on, I can't even talk. We left off on 44th floor. So now we are 8 floors ahead. Of course, there's this whole time skip thing that happens in this first chapter, and I'm like, SIU, what are you doing to me? Don't make me more lost and confused than I already am. I'm already out of it today, so, reading, these constant time skips is throwing me off, because it was something a year after, it was a year after the battle that they had, and then it's a year later after that, so then it's it's been 2 years, basically, but then it's we go back in time 2 years again, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But, I mean, we good. I follow along. It's fine. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to point out before we dive into this review is that it looks like Karaka did not take up Wang Nan as an apprentice, as I had predicted in my last review. I think it would have been cool, and I mean, who knows if that's something that could potentially happen, but I mean, probably not, just because Wang Nan is somewhere else, I'm assuming, like, from, you know, Bomb and them, because he's obviously with Miseng. We get to see Goseng again, or Goseng, Horyang, and Kasano. So I thought it was kind of cool to get, like, a brief intro with them. And, yeah, but going back, I guess, to the Karaka Wang Nan point, maybe down the road, maybe later on in season 3. I mean, especially if they are related, because there was that whole theory going around about that. So if they are related, then maybe there could be that, like, you know, closer drawing of the two of them, and, you know, Karaka ends up training Wang Nan. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I don't want to keep delving on that, but we'll move on to other things here. So I was joking around because I'm from Arizona. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. I probably have. I mean, you could probably end up seeing that on my Twitter. I think I have it listed there. But anyway, I was joking around that Evan is clearly an Arizona native, or he has at least experienced monsoon season while visiting Arizona, because he was all like, oh, like, it's just a little bit of dust. This is nothing. Meanwhile, Ship Lisu is just complaining about it, and he's like, I can't see shit. So that was my random point, and a random little fact about me while we're at it. And then freaking pterodactyls show up, and Evan is just, like, super suave, and he takes one out, and I'm like, hell yeah, son. So he is best boy right now. Like, that image, like, just had me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Evan, yes, best boy. Like, sorry, Kun, I still love you, but Evan is best boy right now. This is his moment, let him shine. And then it's really funny too, because more of them, of course, show up, and then there's people riding on top of these pterodactyls, because at first I think it was like 3 pterodactyls or something like that. And, like, I didn't see anyone on them, but then we probably just caught, like, the bottom part of them. Yeah, and I was right, it was, like, 3. Okay, maybe, like, 3.5, whatever. But, yeah, like I said, more of them show up. There's, like, people on top of them with these, like, frickin' half-ass tridents. And, yeah, so Rock is offering help, like, hey, like, should we jump in and help you out? And Evan's like, nah, just stay back. And I thought it was funny, because I'm like, Evan in his mind is probably like, you provide the comedy for the story, let me handle this action shit, my boy. So, yeah, so that was the scene with them. And basically what they're doing in this area is looking for Woon Yeon, or Yeon Woon. I think I saw it reversed at some point. Sorry. I'm, like, questioning this now. Was it? Yeah, okay. I don't know. I mean, it was probably, like, a little mistake by the translator, but hey, I'm not gonna judge. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's the same concept, though. I mean, you just switch the names around. It's kind of like, you know, like Japanese names versus, like, how names are here, you know. It's just a switcheroo of the first and last name. But anyway, so yeah, they're looking for Yeon Woon. And, you know, this guy's like, oh, you're not going to see him, blah, blah, blah. He's in hiding. But then eventually, I mean, spoiler, I guess, next chapter, they do manage to, you know, work out something with like, the leader, I guess, of this pterodactyl gang. So then we go to Madarako. He's talking with some of the people that work for him. And he's like, so this dude is like, oh, are you going to do what the regular guide wants? And then Madarako says, I'm not sure. At least I kept my promise to him, so we're even now. But I think that it was meant to be her, because he had struck the deal with Hwaryun, as far as I remember. I even, like, looked back just to double check, because I was like, wait, like, I don't think he struck anything with Evan, maybe. But, yeah, no, I was pretty sure it was Hwaryun that he had struck the deal with. But anyway, Madarako's trying to be sneaky, because he's like, ooh, like, maybe I should actually plunder these people I'm hiding and not keep my end of the bargain. And then it's interesting, because Karaka shows up to see him and stuff. Like, Madarako has, like, tea and, like, crumpets and shit set up for these dudes. So Karaka's there, White, and Evankel is there as well. But anyway, so Karaka ends up screwing over Madarako. So now Madarako is like double tied into these two deals. And so in order for him to get the ladle that he so coveted, that Hwaryun had promised him, Karaka is using the ladle now to get Madarako to help recruit Baylord Yama's help. Because Karaka, of course, is dead set on, you know, taking out Caliban. So he and Bomb are dead set on this goal. And so Karaka wants Baylord Yama's help to, you know, kind of go through with that plan. So then we're done with them. We go to some familiar faces that we have not seen in ages. And of course, that would be Apple and Michael. So they're still around. They were waiting for Rachel to show up, but like I don't know, they were waiting on some kind of like signal or sign and like nothing was happening. So it's like, oh, like Rachel is clearly not here. Like she wasn't part of the warp thing that happened. So, you know, it's funny because Apple's like, oh, like, why are you happy? Like, why are you standing around? And Michael's just like, oh, like, she's just taking a detour. It's fine. She'll get here when she gets here, kind of a thing. And then it is revealed to us that they have a secret weapon who is a person, but we don't get to see their face. All we know about them is that they growl. Fun little fact. And then from behind, you can kind of see that they are pretty big, they're tall, and they're like a buff being, pretty much. So I'm guessing this is someone new, unless it is someone we've seen before. And, you know, maybe that's part of, like, the surprise reveal that will happen later on. But I'm pretty sure it's, like, a new character. So, yeah, like, let me know your guys' thoughts. If you think it is someone new, or maybe it is someone that we've seen before and it's just been forever ago, since season 2 was so long, because we reached, like, 337 chapters on it. So if you think it is someone from the past, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and, you know, just comment below. The usual thing. Alrighty, so then we skip on to Andrasi, best girl, and she's trying to get Traveler to talk. She is intent on getting him to reveal the password for his phone so she can look through his messages, because, you know, he's kind of claiming like, oh, like, yeah, like I was on Rachel's team, but I don't know their plans. Like, I don't know what they're doing. And Andrasi's like, oh, that's bullshit. Like, I can tell, you know, I can sniff it out from a mile away. And so she thinks that she can find evidence on his phone. And so until she can get him to tell her what his password is, you know, she's not going to stop with the torturing. Like, even Anak showed up. And she's like, oh, like, if you keep torturing him like that, like, you're gonna end up killing him. So she's like, you may as well just kill him now. But Andrasi doesn't want to, so, you know, and that's smart. So, I mean, hopefully Traveler fesses. I mean, if he is truly regretful of having worked with Rachel, I think it would be a good turning point for him to be like, hey, like, you know, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for what Rachel has done to you guys. Like, you know, help me and I'll help you, kind of a thing. Because I know he wants to find Emily. And if he can't rely on Rachel anymore, or if he didn't really want to be associated with her, then maybe he can turn a new leaf, you know, and, you know, work with Baum and Co. I'm sure they'd be willing to help him out. So, I mean, if he thinks about it in those terms, it'd be kind of interesting to see what happens, because we don't see these two in the next chapter. So maybe the one after that, or even just like later on, you know, hopefully we'll get to see them again, of course, no doubt about it. But yeah, I think it would be cool for him to like actually like fess up and, you know, spare himself any more like torture and not get himself killed, because he seems like a cool character. And I know there's more to him that we have to see, and especially more about this Emily and Traveler thing that we have to see as well. So those are my thoughts on that. And then we go back to Evan and Lisu and all them. And it's funny because Evan is having a flashback, and, you know, he's being told by Wolhaek Song, like, oh, yo, like, Yeon Woon isn't here. He went into hiding. And Evan's just like, what? It's like, we need his help. Like, we need him right now. Like, what the hell? So I think it is too much of a coincidence, or at least I thought, because you'll see what happens next chapter. But I thought it was too much of a coincidence that this Yeon dude was nowhere to be found. And I'm like, shit, like, he could be dead. Someone went to go kill him. Like, there's some traitor stench up in here. Which, thankfully, none of those things happened. So, ooh, unless, what if someone is posing as Yeon-woon and it's not him? But I doubt it. I doubt it. But I just like to have my conspiracy theories on hand, so. All right, and then we'll go on to Boro and Sachi. So they are departing from the rest of the group. They don't want to be together with everyone because I forget the reasoning. Let me look this up real quick. Let me be 100% positive. But I think it was something basically like, oh, like we shouldn't all be together because like that's kind of suspicious or something like that. I could be 100% wrong. I'm just making up my own reasons. All right, here we go. So this is Sachi saying, still, we're doing the right thing, leaving like this, I mean. Climbing the tower altogether is too dangerous. I'm sure we'll run into them again on the tower someday. Which makes sense, yeah. I mean, it's better to kind of break yourselves up. I mean, Bomb is doing his own thing. I'm pretty sure that Andrasi and Anak and Traveler, they might be in the area that Bomb is in. I should have probably paid better attention to that. They have to be. Or they might be somewhere else themselves. And then, of course, Ship is off with Rock and Evan trying to find this Yeon dude. Of course, Kun is with them. And then... who's the other one? Oh, yeah, Karaka is, like, somewhere else, too. Well, no, because Karaka and Evankel are with Bomb. Okay. So, yeah, like, the teams are broken up a little bit. And, you know, of course, Sachi and Boro are, like, off doing their own thing. But, yeah, so my thing with that is, like, oh, we'll definitely see them at some point later on in Season 3. But it was nice to, like, see them for a little bit before they departed. And then we get a little more insight into Bomb's training. So I guess I'll go ahead and read directly from the source here. So Evankel says, I think the best type of training is real combat. So if you want to learn from me, you've got a lot of fighting to do. I'm probably not even doing the voice that I gave her, like, way back when. So apologies for that. This is a list of the battlefields you can take a stab at now. You might have some luck in a few of these places, but there are others where you'd get slaughtered in seconds if you went there now. I organized them in order of the level of difficulty. Now, every time you clear a battlefield, at each difficulty level, I'll teach you something at that level. I don't just go around handing out advice. And as of this moment, you're not allowed to use the Thorn or Black March until I say so. You need to train your basic skills more. Later, when you're ready, I'll tell you when you can use them again. By then, you'll be a very different warrior. Your orbs and Shinzu will be on a whole other level, but first you have to go through some seriously brutal training. You might even end up getting yourself killed. Well, think you've got what it takes? Of course Bomb's got what it takes. And then, of course, he lists his main objective of, like, I need to, like, go after Caliban and avenge Jinsung's death and whatever. I mean, I hope at this rate he knows that Jinsung isn't dead. But I mean, I can understand him. It's like, hey, like, you motherfucker, you messed with my teach. I'm not gonna let that slide, bitch. So that's probably the mentality that he has. I mean, it's been 2 years. I hope he knows that Jinsung is not dead. All right, there's, like, so much to cover in this first chapter. It was a lot. I'm gonna check real quick on my battery because my battery was kind of getting low, so I just want to make sure that we good. Okay, cool. We're still good. All right. So then the next character we see is Yiwa, and sadly she's been captured by these 3 dudes. My personal favorite, of course, is Snake Man, because I am a Slytherin, I am a Southside Serpent, so, you know, snakes are my thing. So I thought he was kind of cool. Of course, we don't get names for these dudes, but, you know, it is what it is. It's all good. But we do see one of them aim an attack at Yiwa because she was talking and whatever, and, like, they wanted to get her to shut up. And then we see blood, and it's like, poor girl. Like, I feel for her, you know, like, she's being tortured, and she's gotten captured because she's friends with Jovial Grace. So I forget exactly what these dudes want. Okay, they're talking about Levy, because I always screw up his name. Let's see. What really matters is that guy named Jovial Grace. From what I've heard, he went into battle with some rankers to rescue his companions and came out alive. So I guess they're trying to kill him, or I'm not really sure what these dudes' intentions are. Well, okay, one of them's named Kel. But anyway, I'm guessing maybe these people work for Zard. Just because if they are against Jovial Grace, that means that they're against Foog, unless there are traitors in Foog involved, and, like, they don't want Jovial Grace to be their slayer, and, like, they'd rather someone else be their slayer. I don't know. But anyway, I don't want to get too, like, caught up on talking about this, because I'm sure we'll see them later. I'm sure we'll get, like, a better insight into what they're trying to do. But yeah, like, I doubt that Yiwa is dead. She's just being tortured and held captive, and it sucks. You know, but hopefully she'll be okay. I honestly doubt she's gonna die. But who knows? Maybe that was the last we saw of her. I don't know. But yeah, so to conclude this chapter, so we can move on to the next one, we are in present time. I just saw, like, the time skip thing. We are in present time, of course. And it's this cute, adorable little boy. He's probably not that little, but he's adorable. I mean, we cannot deny that. And he's being chased by some girl who could potentially be related to Shia because of the last name. And her name is Shia Lulu. So she's an intern at this dog shelter. She's a C rank regular, so she's on the same level with Bomb. So that's really interesting. And I like this girl already. Like, I feel she kind of looks like me a little bit. I think it's the eyebrows, personally. And my hair, like, I naturally have dark brown hair. Like, it probably looks dark brown here. But yeah, like, I have it, like, auburn now. Even though hers is black, but, like, I mean, like, as a kid, like, people would always be like, oh, you have black hair. And I'm like, bitch, I know my hair. It's dark brown. Like, listen to me, my dude. But anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, no, I feel like she kind of looks like me a little bit. So if she becomes a prominent character, then I would love to cosplay her at some point. I think it would be kind of cool. So anyway, this girl is chasing this boy, because he's like a homeless dog or something. And she had to, like, capture him, like, for her boss. Like, it's like her mission, basically. But then in, like, the middle of this chase, Bomb shows up. And yeah, it was really funny because when I first saw him, I'm like, it kind of looks like him, but it kind of doesn't. And I was, like, you know, contemplating, ooh, like, what if he has, like, a younger brother and whatever. Like, I thought that would be kind of cool, but that is not the case. And then, like, people were like, oh my gosh, this man has pigtails. So, like, that kind of threw me off too. I'm like, this isn't Bomb's hairstyle. Like, what's going on here? So yeah, so that's why I was, like, making a prediction. I'm like, what if he has, like, a little brother that we don't know about and we're just getting introduced right now? Like, hey, what's up? All right, so now we will dive into season 3, episode 2. Of course, we're still on the 52nd floor. Arc is still Dang Dang, of course, and now this is chapter 1. So, had the prologue, now this is chapter 1. And, you know, we get a recap, of course. And then Bomb, like, just freaking vanishes away with his child. And I'm like, dude, okay, like, are you into magic now? Like, are you in the Harry Potter world? Like, what house are you in? Channeling my inner Berlizzi, I'm sorry. I always have to channel my inner Berlizzi. Berlizzi is life. I haven't watched very many of his videos lately because I've been so busy with other stuff, but I'll get back to it. He finally finished playing Danganronpa, which I'm super excited about. And then he'll play the second one at some point. Like, he's on a break from Danganronpa, though, playing other games. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But anyway, back to my roasting, I guess. It's not really roasting. But yeah, I would say that Bomb, if this were the Harry Potter world, Bomb would totally be a Gryffindor, hands down. Or a Hufflepuff, I guess. But I think he has more of the Gryffindor characteristics. Or he could be like a combination of the two, but I don't like that. Like, I know I have, like, some friends or, like, people I know on Facebook, and they're all like, oh, I'm like a combination of these two. I'm like, just choose one, do not be two. All right, so anyway, this girl is, like, astonished. She's like, holy shit, they disappeared. And then her boss is calling her, and he's like, hey, did you catch him? And she's like, no. And then he's like, what the fuck, are you insane? You gotta get him back right now, or else your ass is fired. And she's like, I'm sorry, sir. And then I laughed because in this image, I was like, freaking Bongzo because that's the girl's boss's name, or Lulu's boss's name. There we go. She has a name. I can use it. So Lulu's boss's name is Bongzo, and I'm just like, Bongzo, you a chameleon with that freaking eye, dude. And then it's funny because, like, later on, like, this girl, like, she's having thoughts to herself, like, oh, crap, I just started working here. Why did this have to happen now? God, I just want to get some sleep. And when she's having these thoughts, I'm like, dude, this girl is going to freaking end up falling for a bomb. Like, just watch. Like, I can already sense this from a mile away, dude. And then cute boy, it turns out his name is Louis, okay? And then he knows Dang Dang. He's familiar with Dang Dang. I don't know if, like, it's a friend of his or maybe it's a relative, but he would have the key, I guess, or an idea of where Dang Dang is. And so Bomb is kind of taking advantage of that. And it's really funny because Louis, like, feels he's being used. Okay, he says, you know I'm Dang Dang's friend, don't you? You're just using me to get to Dang Dang. And so Bomb's like, oh, so you already know then. And he's like, I knew it. Like, I shouldn't trust you people. And then, I mean, like, that's not, like, the only reason. Bomb is also trying to get Baylord Yama's help. And so Dang Dang would be his source to get to Baylord Yama. And another thing to point out is that, yeah, like I said about Louis in the previous chapter, he's like a homeless dog or something like that. So, so he and Dang Dang, I don't know, like, I would call them animorphs, I guess, just because, y'all remember those books? Like, I was trying to remember, because I feel like there's another term. It's similar to animorphs, and I couldn't remember it, but I was, like, looking it up, and then, like, I came across, like, the book series, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember reading these way back in the day. Those were so cool. But anyway, yeah, so they're, like, dogs, but they have, like, well, at least Louis has this human form to him. And then, you know, as, like, they got distracted talking and stuff, frickin', I like to call him Doberman Man, shows up. And it turns out it's one of their trained combat dogs. I also like to call him Anubis because he kind of has that look to him. So I'm just, like, jokingly like, oh, it's like, hi, Anubis, bye, Anubis, we gonna get moving now, so you don't catch us. So, you know, Louis, of course, is suggesting, hey, we gotta run. Like, we don't stand a chance against this dude. So Bomb's like, all right. And then he, like, picks up Louis and he's, like, running off. And Louis is like, oh, like, we're moving too fast and stuff. And then Bomb, of course, has Hockney that he's working with. So Hockney is kind of guiding him in the direction. Like, he knows the layout, or he's able to see what the layout is. And then, you know, he's like, oh, okay, like, you're gonna reach this point. You gotta jump. You gotta go through this, I think they're gonna go through, like, some pipe or drain or something like that. So yeah, they jump down this cliff. And I thought it was really funny because, okay, it's one of the Anubis dudes. And he's like, I think they're both probably dead, like, because they just fell off a cliff. And I'm like, yo, this is like Mortal Kombat style. Like, they're just falling off the cliff right onto the spear. Of course, that's not true. But, yeah, and so they're, like, convinced, like, oh, yeah, they're dumb, like, they just, like, killed themselves. And then Lulu is, like, the only one with brains here, and she's all like, yo, like, I don't think that's the case. Like, there's a drain pipe at the bottom of the cliff. That's probably where, like, they're aiming to go. And so they don't believe her, and, like, you know, they're like, don't talk back to me. Or her boss is like, don't talk back to me. And so she's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. But then on the inside, she's like, that asshole. And then she's like, dude, but, like, in her thoughts, right? She's like, dude, like, what if I go catch them in the drain pipe? Then, like, instead of being an intern, like, they're gonna hire me on the spot, give me my full time, I'm gonna get my pension and shit, I'm gonna have, like, this amazing retirement. This is, like, all the things that she tells Bomb later on, but I'm just kind of, like, recapping what the hell she says. So yeah, so she's all excited about this. And then, of course, she does catch them at this drain pipe area. And, you know, she lets them know, like, hey, I've notified my boss, so, you know, he's going to be here any minute now. And then Bomb's like, you're going to choose to have a stable job over, like, letting this poor kid go. And, you know, she's, like, claiming that she's killed people to get to where she is right now. She's still got a long ways to go. She has, like, everything planned out. She has, like, her whole life planned out with this job thing, even though it is, like, a sketchy, like, company and whatever that she's working for. Like, she doesn't care. You know, it's what she wants. But, you know, I think that you know, next chapter or whenever this thing concludes between Bomb and, what's his name? Bongzo? Yeah, Bongzo. Maybe she'll have like a change of heart and leave with Bomb. And then, like I said, she's gonna end up falling for Bomb. But I mean, like, it's not just that. Like, I think she's gonna realize that what Bomb says is true. Like, there's like a better life for her out there. Like, she shouldn't be working for this like sketchy ass company. So I think she's gonna have that change of heart. And then she'll be a more prominent character, and then I can cosplay her. Hey. So anyway, as she said, her supervisor showed up. He shows up with more of these dogs and stuff. And so Bomb is like, oh, like, I didn't want to have to take anyone out. Like, I wanted to just leave peacefully, but, you know, and he even apologizes to all these, like, dog warriors. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry that I have to kill you, but this is how it's going to go down. So he's killed all of them. And I just love Bomb because he totally rips into this dude, Bongzo. Like, he's like, oh, like, you don't deserve any mercy because you're the leader. You should be like at the front of your pack. You shouldn't be at the back of the battlefield, you know, watching them die. And he calls him useless. And then he's like, you either come down to face off with me right now, or I'll even go up there and face off with you. And then like the dude gets fed up. He comes down there and he's just all like, oh, like, how dare you talk to me like this, right? He's like, in his thoughts, he's like, is this dude really a C rank regular? And, you know, like, does he realize who he's messing with and stuff? And he's like, oh, like, you think I was gonna run away by you saying, like, oh, come down here? Like, no, like, I'm here, son. And so, yeah, he's going through this, like, transformation. Like, he's, like, claws are, like, coming out of his nails are glowing and god damn. His nails are growing into claws, is what I'm trying to say. And he strikes an attack, but, like, Bomb just totally bounces it off. And then, I love this, he's like, you call this place a dog shelter, but what you really do is abduct regulars, train them to be your soldiers, and even kill them, and you're proud to be the supervisor of this place? You're not just incompetent, you disgust me. Foog doesn't need assholes like you anymore, and I'm like, damn, son! Like, freaking, I'm so proud of Bomb. Like, I love that he's, like, more confident in himself, and, like, the way he talks, and, like, he's, like, cursing more and shit. It's so great. I love it. And yeah, so